More than a dozen farmers gruesomely murdered by Boko Haram insurgents in Borno. Appeal Court says Kwankwaso reinstates Umar Datti. Taraba State Government bans night travel on waterways. And on the foreign scene, Jordan airdrops medical aid into Gaza as Israel intensifies strikes. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for joining. Beginning with security matters, at least 12 farmers have been killed and several others are reportedly missing after an attack by suspected Boko Haram insurgents on rice farmers in Mafa local government area of Borno State on Sunday. It was gathered that the insurgents stormed rice fields and rounded up the farmers while harvesting their farm produce in Karakut and Koshebe general area in Mafa local government area, slaughtering them with knives. According to Civilian Joint Task Force, 13 dead bodies have been recovered and a search of missing persons still ongoing. A top security source said that the terrorists on motorcycles split into 3 groups before attacking the farmers. In another tragic incident, suspected Boko Haram insurgents have shot and killed a businessman based in Maiduguri on his farmland in Bama local government area of Borno State. The incident reportedly happened on the victim's farm where 4 workers were also abducted. The gunmen invaded the farm, rounded up the workers and attempted to kidnap the businessman. Eyewitnesses say that there was a struggle between the victim and the insurgents before he was eventually shot dead. In the meantime, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji operating in Zamfara State have repelled an ambush by bandits, killing scores of the terrorists in the process. The troops also foiled the terrorist attack on Karazau village under Kwatarakwashi district of Bunguru local government area of Zamfara State in the early hours of Sunday. According to a statement by the spokesperson of the Operation Hadarin Daji, Captain Yahaya Ibrahim, the troops responded to a distress call about the large number of armed terrorists attacking Karazau village in Kwatarakwashi district. He said that the combat-ready troops who were resilient with tactical abilities and reinforcement cleared the ambush and forced the bandits to retreat, while several bandits have been neutralized. Now, over now to political matters, where the Court of Appeal in Abuja has sacked Musa Ilyasu Kwankwaso of the All Progressives Congress and reinstated Yusuf Umar Datti of the New Nigeria People's Party in the Kura, Madobi and Garum Malam federal constituency election. The 3-panel led by Justice Tunde Oyebanji Owotoye allowed an appeal by Yusuf Datti and averred that the tribunal erred in counting the date of the appellant's resignation on the date of his party's primary election, and that Section 77 of the Electoral Act was misapplied, saying that no court has jurisdiction on the issue of membership of the party. Now, days to the November 11, 2023 off-season governorship polls in Imo, Bayelsa and Kogi states. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has announced the redeployment of Commissioner of Police in Imo, Mohammed Barde. According to a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the IGP's decision to reshuffle the CP underscores the police force's unwavering dedication to upholding the rule of law and maintaining strict neutrality throughout the electoral proceedings. The statement added that the redeployment is not an indictment on the affected officer, but is rather part of a broader strategy aimed at bolstering security measures, promoting transparency and upholding the integrity of the electoral security management. Egbetokun said that the police will respond appropriately to vote buying and all electoral offences with respect to the provisions of the electoral laws. Anybody found engaging in vote buying will be prosecuted appropriately, he said, adding that the allowances of policemen will be paid as and when due. There had been widespread outrage by the organized labor, including the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, accusing Barde of complicity in the recent attack on NLC President Joe Ajaero in Owerri, the Imo State capital, last week. And away from that, the Taraba State government has banned all forms of night journeys on waterways across the state. The ban is in response to the recent boat mishap in Bineri community of Karim Lamido Local Government Council. The incident happened when a locally made boat loaded with over 80 passengers from Mayo Reneo Market in Arokola Council heading towards Karim Lamido Council capsized in Binari village, leading to the loss of several lives. So far, 20 corpses have been recovered by the Marine Police in collaboration with the local divers and fishermen residing in the area. The Deputy Governor Aminu Alkali on Sunday during a visit to the community declared the removal of all barricades on the waterways with immediate effect. The Commissioner for Special Duties and Special Development, Xavier Noku, says that the government will not condone overloading of boats or canoes on its waterways. The state government has also directed the use of life jackets for passengers to avert future incidents. Now, as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy and inflation in the country, there is an uneasy calm among residents of Makurdi who visit the markets. In spite of adjustments to living standards, many households are lamenting that they can no longer meet the minimum needs of life. Jimmy Azande reports.
Prices of commodities, especially foodstuff, are on the steady rise. According to respondents, these prices increase almost on a daily basis.
If things are this high now, what would be the fate of Nigerians when it's December period? Oh, God, I cry. No, the price of dollar has increased. The removal of fuel subsidy has really affected everything, and the life is very miserable for the average Nigerian. Some of them go as far as not eating for a whole day. Some of them just eat in the morning and they don't eat again for the rest of the day.
The residents also said the government has no idea of the true situation masses of Nigeria are going through at the moment.
Next month, we know that it will get worse than this, and it's really tiring. A carton of Maggi used to be less than 13,000 naira. As of yesterday, we're getting the 50 pieces a pack for 14,500, which was not like this. And by next month, we know that this price will still go up because it's usually like this during the festive period, and it's draining. We don't know how to do it. If the government can only make it easy for us, we are trying.
In spite of the inflation and subsidy removal crisis, Makurdi residents are alleging that middlemen are taking advantages of inflation and subsidy removal to raise prices.
Transportation, before I go modern market, from here to modern market, 300 naira, but now they go there 500. So if I come back, I told my expenses, I think it will go up small. I think because I'm done. Now that's subsidy way they remove, way they no plan now.
The authorities should, in a way, try to make sure that prices of things in the market, in a way, I don't really know how to do it. They don't have to do it directly. They have to go directly, maybe stabilizing some things. Yeah, then make those things accessible to students, accessible to the average Nigerians, those that don't have money to buy. You get, that's the only way we can make Nigeria a better place.
In Benue State, though reputed as the food basket of the nation, the recent price hike has left the masses in a state of uncertainty. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
The rate of eye-related diseases in some northern states in Nigeria is rapidly growing as thousands remain at risk of losing their sight. The recent spread of infective conjunctivitis has signaled the gaps in the eye healthcare services, especially for rural communities. In this report, Trust TV's Adam Imam speaks to specialists in Jigawa on the development.
According to available data, there are at least 1.3 blind Nigerians, and about 80% of blindness in Nigeria is from avoidable causes. Visual impairments have physical, emotional, social, and economic ramifications, and they play an essential role in determining one's quality of life. A specialist speaks on the prevalence of eye diseases in northern Nigeria.
Because many people, they don't know that they have eye problem. The advice that we give any time when you have any problem, refer it to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, find yourself in ophthalmology department where they will find a simple visual acuity. They are checking visual acuity. You measure someone's visions, it will help us to even reduce the burden of blindness. Then cataract surgery. We embark on major eye outreach where we are going to the community level. We start operating people there. This one will also reduce the number of blindness.
With the dry season setting in, eye infections have been spreading across communities like wildfire.
So definitely during the harvesting period, some people don't have money. That's why they don't use money during the rainy season. But immediately when the harvesting period started, you see the people are trooping. They keep on giving their own problem till when they get them one. So now it's harvesting period. That's why you see the place is always congested.
Some patients speak in their experience while undergoing treatment.
Sometimes I feel something is itching me. Sometimes it's getting red and so on. And what I'm using at home, I use warm water with salt and wash my.
If I want to watch television, it is always difficult for me because I don't see clearly. I have been on treatment and managing it as well for over 2 months. Then afterward, I resumed consulting the eye care specialist here in the hospital. There was a time they gave me eye drops, but it still persisted. That's why I'm still struggling to regain my sight clear.
While a significant part of visual impairments or eye diseases can be linked to age, a lot more people are dealing with prevalence ailments that, if left unchecked, due inadequate healthcare services, could lead to permanent blindness. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead, we'll tell you a story of how an international market struggles to stay afloat in business. Details and more shortly.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you.
I'm coming. Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for them, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Welcome back. This is the news update on Trust TV. Now let's take a look at the top stories again. More than a dozen farmers gruesomely murdered by Boko Haram insurgents in Borno. Appeal Court sacks Kwankwaso, reinstates Umar Dati. Now we have joining us via phone Daily Trust reporter in Borno, Olatunji Omiri, to take us through some of the updates on what's happening exactly in Maiduguri as regards the recent attacks. Thank you so much for joining us on the news update, Olatunji.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, Olatunji, it appears that we are witnessing a resurgence of attacks with specific targeting of farmers in Borno State. Could you talk to us what could have been responsible for this, or what do we make of this trend that we're seeing in recent times?
Thank you so much. I think in the recent time, attack on a farmer has becoming something that occurring almost every day. I reported yesterday that there was an attack in Bama local government where a businessman was killed and 4 others were abducted. And last night also, some farmers from Sabramari actually went to their farmland in Mapa local government area of the state, and they were run up while trying to access their farm produce, and more than a dozen of them were killed. In fact, I just spoke to one of the farmer, leader of the farmer in Sabramari a minute ago. I was told that 10 cops have already been brought, and they went to pick another 3 while searching for missing, and those that were kidnapped are still ongoing, both by security agency and civilian JTF.
What do you think that the insurgents hope to achieve by the targeting of farmers at this point in time? Do they intend to harvest the crops now for themselves, or what exactly?
Yes, if you look at if you follow the trends over the years, these are doing their tactics, and they have been using this. They will not stop the farmer from planting the crops, but when it comes to harvest time, that is where we usually have. If you check last year, it's the same thing. We check they will behead a farmer, they will kill farmers, and they will actually went away with their farm produce. They have been doing this thing every year. It's not that maybe the number of the attack in the state particularly has not been kind of on alarming rate, but attack on particularly on farmers in the last 2-3 weeks has been increased, and that's what we are witnessing. But it has been occurring every year. So during the peak of harvest season, there are usually attacks on farmers.
Is there any attempt, or is there any effort or step taken by the security agencies in the state with respect to how farmers can be, protected to safely harvest their crops?
Yes, the security agencies, the military, the police, the civilian JTF, the hunters, the vigilante, the kishkis, they are really trying. They are trying their best, but don't forget that Borno State has a very fast land that is very, very fast. So for the security agencies to cover everywhere, I think it seems it's not possible. They cannot be everywhere at a time. So that is why the Boko Haram always take the advantage when they see that maybe some farmers, they don't have a kind of the Anglo Ranger, because there is Agro Ranger that the Borno State government actually created specifically to protect farmers. And bear it in mind that the state government, the state government has been doing well in terms of supporting the security agencies, but they cannot be everywhere. So that has been the major challenges resulting to increase in attacks.
Okay, but we can say confidently that these Agro Rangers have been spotted escorting farmers. Is that the case?
Yes, they have been doing it right from the beginning of the year. They have been going with the farmers. They have been. That is why you see that we don't normally have attacks like the way we used to have it, because they usually follow the farmer to the farm. They will go with them. They will stay back. When they close, they will come with them. And the Borno State government actually provide vehicles, long buses, to convey farmers to farm free of charge, and they will still bring them. So they usually go with Agro Ranger to bring them. You know, they cannot be everywhere. So this I think is one of the issues.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining.
I give it to security agencies. They have been trying their best.
Okay. Thank you, Olatunji Omiring, Daily Trust reporter in Borno State. Thank you for joining us on the news update. Now, in the meantime, the Mariri Kola Nut International Market in Kano is currently struggling to stay in business as traders close shop while others struggle to keep the market open. Supply chain issues and the current economic climate are some of the factors responsible for the international market's decline, despite high demand for kola nut, especially in northern Nigeria. Salim Umar visited the market for this report.
Goro, as it is often called in Hausa dialects, plays a significant role in many cultures, though it is very uncommon to witness any Hausa ceremony without loaves of kola nut. This business, however, still exists. The market is now living in a shadow of itself.
Musamman wannan kasuwar tamu duk duniya babu irin ta inda kasuwar goro ce.
This market has been known for this business. People from different African countries come here for kola nut business, and kola nut has been our business in this area.
The Kola Nut International Market relocated to Mariri from Kofar Nasarawa in 1977 for the purpose of expanding it to accommodate more traders. Although the climatic condition of the region is not favorable for the cultivation of kola nut, the nut, Kano in particular, is widely known for its distribution, not just within the country, but to other African countries, including Chad and Niger. The market is famous as the only entry point from where the product gets to end users. In the past, it is said that at least 5 truckloads of the product from Shagamu in Ogun State offload at Mariri International Kola Nut Market on a daily basis, thereby creating an opportunity for the teeming unemployed youth to earn a living. But now, it's hard to see a truck daily.
I've been into this business for the past 40 years, but the market is going down now due to the economic crisis in the country.
It was a beehive of activities as young men and adults struggled to eke out a living. While some are full-time dealers on the product, others earn their living by loading and offloading the product. It was gathered that about 3,000 unemployed youths from Kano and neighboring states, including Jigawa, Katsina, and Kaduna, used to source their daily bread through menial jobs in the market. The story is absolutely different today, as the market looks scanty and less busy.
The high cost of living has also affected our business. Before now, we don't sell on credit, but with the situation of things in the country, most of us sell our goods on credit to make ends meet. There have been a lot of setback in this business.
While the business is dwindling and struggling to survive various challenges, the businessman said the economic situation in the country is greatly contributing to the declining pace, urging authorities concerned to come to their aid. Salim Umar, Trust TV News, Kano.
On the foreign scene, Israel has continued its military offensive in Gaza, ignoring ceasefire calls by UN aid agencies who condemned surging civilian deaths in the month-long conflict. Gaza's Hamas government reported intense bombings on Sunday evening around several hospitals in the north of Gaza Strip, shortly after telecommunications in the territory were cut for a third time. Meanwhile, Jordan's King Abdullah II said that the country's Air Force airdropped vital medical supplies to a field hospital in the Gaza Strip overnight. Israel confirmed it coordinated with Jordan to facilitate the drop. The heads of major UN agencies issued a rare joint statement late on Sunday calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. The statement said that 88 UN workers have died since the start of the fighting between Hamas and Israel, the highest number ever recorded in a single conflict. The death toll in Gaza has reached at least 9,770 people, including 4,008 children, according to the health ministry in the Hamas-run Palestinian territory. In the occupied West Bank, more than 140 Palestinians have been killed in violence and Israeli raids. And in sports news, Nigerian elite referee and FIFA badge Yamesi Akintoye has been selected for the 2023 African Women's Champions League taking place in Cote d'Ivoire from November 5 to November 19. The University of Lagos graduate Abita was one of the 17 referees shortlisted across Africa and one of the 12 selected after an intensive one-week pre-tournament course. A statement on the Confederation of African Football on Monday confirmed Akintoye's participation alongside other referees at the 2023 African Women's Champions League. It said Akintoye, who would be officiating alongside Salma Musa Ganda of Rwanda, who was the first African woman referee to officiate at the Men's World Cup. The news agency of Nigeria reports that Akintoye was badged as a FIFA referee in 2021. She has been at a few international competitions, which include the WAFU Women Champions League, the Aisha Buhari tournament, among others. On a sad note, Kano-based renowned Islamic scholar Sheikh Yusuf Ali has died at the age of 73. According to a social media post by his son, Muslihu Yusuf Ali, the father died on Sunday night. His funeral rites will take place at Murtala Mosque, Tudung Maliki Quarters by 1:30 p.m. on Monday. Born in 1950 in Gaya town of Kano State, the late Islamic scholar began his legal career in 1974 as a Sharia court scribe and rose through the ranks to become chief clerk, assistant registrar, Upper Sharia Court judge and director at the Upper Sharia Court. Sheikh Ali retired in 2009 and continued with Islamic teachings and offering spiritual healings. And that's a wrap on the news update. Watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching.